Welcome to this video where I explore the relationship I had towards books in April. We'll start off with a bad relationship, and that's with The Secret History by Donna Tartt. So this went viral last year or the year before. I actually bought this as the first book when I started this YouTube channel because the plot seemed interesting. It's about this boy that gets into this fancy school where a group of mysterious students does bad things. And they keep on doing bad things, and we're along for the ride. I felt like this was it started out being kind of interesting because it's mysterious, and you're sort of, before the shit hits the fan, you're sort of wondering, what is the bad thing that's going to happen? And when the bad thing happens, it's all dead. So the book dies quite early. When the bad stuff starts, the suspense ends, and we're no longer intrigued, or so was I. I was not intrigued anymore. I was only thinking, when is this going to end? And it didn't end for quite some time. It doesn't seem like a big book, but it actually is quite the long read, and the longer it gets after the first half. Seems like this book is still, though, a modern classic, and a lot of youthful people enjoy it. Maybe it's my age. Since I'm getting older, it should come as no surprise that I did enjoy the first Murakami's books. So this was my second read of this month, and it's his debut. His two novels, Hear the Wind Sing and Pinball, 1973. And I was surprised of how much Murakami was in these books from the beginning. So I thought maybe since it's the beginning, you think that he would try to find his way through this book writing thing. And he has this kind of interesting preface where he talks about this, but I feel like it's very recognizable Murakami from the beginning. And he talks about how, if I understand this correctly, that he used to write in English and then translate back to Japanese to get like a simplified language. And this, if this is correctly understood from my side, this makes a lot of sense because it's very easy to read. It's like, as long as you're willing to just read and think to yourself, this will all be less complicated after a while, you'll be fine, I guess. And he also mentions that he sent the first novel in for a writing competition, and that was his only copy. So if he hadn't won that competition, he wouldn't have the first novel and would probably give up writing. And that is kind of crazy to think about. Yeah. If you follow my videos, if you follow this channel, you know that I love this author, and yeah, it wouldn't be the same without him, I guess. So the stories were okay, but I do just like being in his universe. And it's not that many authors where you just like to turn the pages and read the sentences without there being a story. In the other books he has, there is a bigger story. And of course, it is a story. And I think it's two more books that sort of is a part of the series. I think Dance, Dance, Dance is the next one. And he recognizes that as his first true novel. These are quite short, so I guess that's why, or that's my guess. After finishing those two books, I actually stopped reading for quite some time. There's a lot going on these days, and I'll get back to it, but it just stopped a bit, let's say. But I did buy one more book, and that's not all that good because I'm trying to get rid of books, but I was going to take a flight. Then something happened, so I ended up doing stuff instead of reading. But the book I bought was this one, Eurotrash, by, let's see, Christian Kracht, or something along those lines. It was nominated for the International Booker Prize this year, and I bought it maybe mainly for the cover art, which is amazing. Also, it was short. A downside is that Karl Ove Knausgård has approved of this novel here, and well, he seems a bit too intellectual, so we'll see. I'm hoping to read that quite soon. But then we've come to the most important segment of these videos this year, and that is me unhauling. So we'll start this off with Alice Smith and Summer. There is something about this plot that I just think that this isn't for me. The first sentence on the back of this, describing what it's about, is that a mother sits by a desk and someone gives her a hug. And, well, I've watched a lot of booktubers talk about Alice Smith, and I do think that it would be the language would be a little bit too slow for me, at least at this point. I do really love this cover, and I guess that is why I haven't unhauled it before, but this time it goes. I won't count how many books I've left, but the goal is still to get under 100 books before the year ends, and maybe I'll do an update after a while, but I don't want to count the books again, and I do remember that I have loaned some books to friends. Some of them I haven't read yet, so there will be a margin there for error. Then it's Young Mungo by Douglas Stewart. I read Shuggy Bane. When I read Shuggy Bane, I was expecting to be devastated because this was a little boy growing up with alcoholized parents or a mother. Can't really remember, but I really was disappointed. Then I found this for free and I thought maybe I'll give him another shot. But that's one thing I have decided to stop doing, and based on my Shuggy Bane experience, I just don't think this will be for me. Then in my last unhaul, I had a book with Edvard Hoem, where I got rid of book number 2. But if I'm being honest with myself, if I can rid myself of book number 2, why wouldn't I just also throw away book number 1? Not throw away, I'll give it to someone, but you get what I mean. These are books about people emigrating from Norway to the US a long time ago, and I can always pick these ones up again. It's not like I will forget about them. Then it's Vigdis Hjorth. I've read a couple from Vigdis Hjorth earlier, and she is famous for arguing with her family in the public and writing books about her mother and siblings. And I liked the Will and Testament book of hers, but I don't think her writing in general is for me. Then it's one that I've struggled with for quite some time. It's Graham Greene and the Human Factor. Is that the English name? At least it seems like a classic spy novel when I read the first pages, and I thought to myself, this is something I could enjoy if I'm in the mood for like a classical spy thriller kind of book. I don't know if that's what it's actually about, but that's the feeling I get when I turn the first pages. And, well, I can enjoy the movie based on this book, but I don't know how I feel about reading a book like this. That's all I'm saying. So, it will leave me today. Then also leaving me is Jon Michelet and Skogsmatrosen and Sjøens Helt, Hero of the Seas, about people being at seas during the Second World War. I think that's the thing. And this is, I don't know how many pages, but yeah, about 900 pages. I've started this before and I had to give up because there were a lot of words. I think since this is a historical fiction novel, I could enjoy it, and I do like reading about the Second World War, but I'm very sure that I will be able to get these books at the thrift store or something like that for not a lot of money, and probably could buy all of the books. It's a series, I don't know if it's 3 or 4 or 5 books, but they're all this size and it's just a bit too much. So I will let this go at this time, and we'll see if I'll pick it up again at some point. Who knows? So 6 books are leaving me. 1 book is new. So -5 at this point. No, -7 because I've read a couple of books as well. So -7, that is I'm quite happy with that. I think I was lacking about 150 books last time. So I still will have to get rid of a lot of books, but it will get better as the year progresses, I guess. I'm still happy that I'm doing both an unhaul and each month, like forcing myself to find 5 books each time. It will go a long way in helping me to get rid of books. Also, I have quite a few of shorter novels in my shelves, so I could take a month where I just read my shorter novels to help me along, I guess. So, haven't read too much this month, but I'm still fine with it. I hope that I will read more in May. May is the best month there is, especially in Norway. Everything's starting to get green and people are smiling more and staying out a bit more. So there is very little to complain about. I also hope that you in your countries appreciate the month of May. I hope it's as gorgeous as it is here. And thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.